For 12 years, I was a prisoner in my own home. But when I escaped, I found out my real mother never stopped searching. I used to think the world above my head was a dream, something I'd only see if I behaved well enough to deserve it. For 12 long years, my world was a small, cold basement. No sunlight, no windows, just the echo of my own breathing, and the sound of my stepmother's heels clicking on the floorboards above me. She said I was sick. "You're mentally unstable," she'd whisper through the locked door. "You'll hurt yourself if you go outside." I was 12 when it began. My father had just passed away, and within weeks, she took over the entire house and my life. She told the neighbors I'd been taken to a mental facility, but in truth, I was right there, beneath their feet. Every time someone came by, she'd turn the radio up. Every night, she'd bring me leftover food, cold, tasteless, thrown on a tray like I was a dog. And every morning, I'd scratch one more line into the wall, a line for every day I was still alive. Before the basement, I was a happy kid. My mom and dad loved each other, or so I thought. But when my mother disappeared when I was 6, my dad remarried fast, too fast. Her name was Claudia, and she had the kind of beauty that made people trust her instantly. At first, she acted sweet, baked cookies, smiled at me, called me sweetheart. But slowly, after my dad's death, the sweetness turned sour. She said my real mother had abandoned me, that no one wanted me anymore, that she was the only one who could keep me safe. It didn't take long for me to believe her lies, until the day she turned the key and locked me in the basement for my own good. Years passed, and I lost count. My hair grew long, tangled. My hands trembled from lack of sunlight. Sometimes I heard children laughing outside, and I'd imagine what it felt like to run, to breathe fresh air, to have someone call my name. But I didn't even have a name anymore. Claudia called me It. She'd say, "If anyone ever finds you, they'll lock you away forever. So be grateful I'm protecting you." I wanted to hate her, but I was too scared to even know what hate was. Until one night, when she forgot to lock the door completely. It was raining that night. I'll never forget the sound. It felt like the sky was crying for me. I pushed the door slowly, and for the first time in 12 years, it opened. My legs were weak. My eyes burned at the faint light coming from the hallway. I walked through the empty house, the same house I'd lived under for half my life, and it looked smaller, colder. Family photos of her and my father lined the walls. But in every photo, my face was scratched out. I took nothing, not even shoes. I just ran. For hours, I wandered through the streets until I collapsed behind a restaurant dumpster. A kind old man working there found me, gave me food, and called the police. But when they asked my name, I couldn't speak. My voice, unused for years, was gone. They took me to a shelter. I was 18. No education, no family, no identity. Just a ghost with a name no one believed in. Months later, I got a job as a janitor at a large law firm downtown. It wasn't much, but it was the first time I felt free. I'd mop floors, clean offices, and watch people talk and laugh. All the things I never had. One evening, while cleaning the top floor, I accidentally pushed open the wrong door. The conference room. Inside sat an older man with gray hair and kind eyes, staring at a file. When he saw me, he froze. His coffee cup slipped from his hand and shattered on the floor. He whispered, "It can't be. You're supposed to be dead." I stood there, speechless. He opened the file in front of him, and there it was, my childhood photo. The one I thought was lost forever. He said softly, "Your real mother hired us 20 years ago to find you." I couldn't breathe. My knees gave out. All this time, someone had been searching. All this time, I wasn't forgotten. The man, his name was Mr. Daniels, told me everything. My mother, Laura, had never abandoned me. Claudia had forged documents, told my father I died in an accident, and framed my mother for neglect. When my father remarried her, my mom lost all custody rights. And when he died, Claudia made sure to erase me completely. But she made one mistake. She never filed an official death certificate. That was the crack I needed. Mr. Daniels helped me gather evidence. Old photos, hospital records, DNA tests, even the house's hidden basement plans. I wanted justice, not by violence, but by truth. I wanted the world to see what she did to me, to my family. We filed the case, and when the day came, I stood in court, trembling but not afraid. Claudia walked in like she owned the room. Perfect hair, fake tears. The same voice that once told me I was worthless. But when she saw me standing there alive, her face turned pale. "You," she gasped. "Yes," I said. "The girl you buried is back." The room went silent as Mr. Daniels presented the evidence. The forged papers, the basement photos, the recorded testimony from neighbors who remembered hearing strange noises years ago. Every lie she ever told began to crumble. When the verdict was read, the judge's voice echoed, "Guilty of fraud, false imprisonment, and abuse." I didn't smile. I didn't cry. I just looked at her and said the words she used to tell me every day. "Be grateful, I'm protecting you." This time, it was her turn to be locked away. After the trial, I finally met her, my real mother. She ran to me with tears streaming down her face, holding the same locket I wore as a child. For the first time in my life, I felt whole. I wasn't it. I wasn't crazy. I was someone's daughter again. I started taking classes, rebuilding my life piece by piece. Sometimes at night, I still wake up and expect to see concrete walls around me. But then I remember, I'm free. Freedom doesn't come from escaping a place. It comes from exposing the lies that kept you there. Sometimes the people who claim to protect you are the ones who fear your strength the most. But the truth has a way of breaking chains, even the ones built from fear, lies, and silence. I was buried alive for 12 years, but I didn't just survive. I returned, and I took my life back.